この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here this early afternoon, much earlier than usual for EVA, for Evangelion, episode 22 Director's Cut. It's like 28 minutes long. Oh boy. Last time on EVA, we got a hell of a lot of backstory, a lot of interesting details about the people who were involved in the early stages of the EVA project, and a whole lot of information on Gendo and who he is. And then Kaji died. And Misato cried. And Shinji sighed because he's dead inside. Alright, I got nothing. But, yeah, so with all of this backstory, I get the feeling that what we're doing is we're setting everything up so that everything that needs to be explained has been explained, and we can just have shit happen, without going back and, like, inserting a bunch of exposition to break up the important stuff. That's just a guess. Maybe it's just more exposition from here on out. But given the way that people talk about the later portion of EVA as being a crazy shit show of insanity, I don't know in what way it is a crazy shit show of insanity, but I trust the general opinion that seems to be it gets crazy. I feel like we're setting up all this slow-paced stuff so that it's done and over, and we can move into the fast-paced craziness and just bombard the viewer, me, with ridiculous stuff at a ridiculous clip. Okay, cool. Lots of interesting things, lots of new questions raised by the things that we were shown. For example, did Rei die? Did that Rei, the child Rei, die? Was she strangled to death? And if so, who is the replacement Rei? Are they clones? Are they clones of Yui? That seems like it's the easy answer. They're clones of Yui, but I don't know if it's actually true. So, a lot of questions being raised. Hardly any Shinji in the episode. The only thing we saw of him in this episode was him as a little kid, and him being unable to reach out and help Misato as she comes home and weeps over the answering machine. Again, phones and answering machines playing a role. Interesting. The other question is, what has Asuka been up to during this period? Because we haven't seen her for a while. So what's she been doing? As all of this, as Shinji's world sort of is thrown into turmoil, how is Asuka? I don't know. I think that's all I want to talk about at the beginning. I will say this. I want to do a section in the beginning of my videos, whenever possible, where I, spotlight some comments and talk about them and, do a little bit of back and forth with the viewers, because I read all the comments. So if you want to leave cool comments with your analyses and stuff like that in the comment section, I'll read them. And if I like them, I'll throw them into the beginning of the next video and we'll talk about them. I can't do that in this episode because I just released the video on YouTube, and not enough people have seen it and not enough people have commented on it. So I just don't have comments here right now. I'll try to release them earlier in the morning so that there's a little bit more time for comments to filter in, so that I do have something to talk about during this comment section. And usually this is not a problem because I don't get to EVA until much later in the afternoon. But it's like 1 p.m. It's really early in the afternoon because I wanted to get this done and recorded, if not edited and rendered, a bit earlier than usual. But anyway, I would like to do that comments spotlight thing, but I can't because there aren't any comments yet. So leave your comments on this video as soon as you see it and as soon as you got stuff to talk about. And I'll read them and I'll spotlight them and stuff. It'll be fun. But I can't right now. Anyway, show stuff as fast as possible. If you like it. If you hate it, dislike it. If you're not subbed and you want more like this is all I do. And if you are subbed and you're not getting my videos, perhaps the bell can help. If you... okay. If you really enjoy this content or want to support the dude making it, or you just want next week's EVA reaction a week early, patreon.com/Teeaboo is a place where you can go to throw me a few bucks and get all that stuff, including Discord access, so you can chat with me and all the other people who are supporting me directly without going through the YouTube comments and its wonkiness. So, if any of that sounds appealing to you, Patreon's a place. It's a thing. You can go and do that. Yay. Alright. EVA, episode 22, Director's Cut. I'm on the English audio track. Let me change that really quick. Japanese. Subtitle, not songs and signs. The full subtitles, thank you. Full screen, and we are ready to go. And as before, I will be taking notes on screen, and they'll be right over there. But I'm dialing back the way that I take notes so that it's a little bit more of just like key points and crucial stuff. That way I can focus more on the audio commentary, which, as some of you have pointed out, is a bit more important. So I'm going to focus more on that. Thank you for that feedback, by the way. I do appreciate it. And if you have any other feedback for the video, let me know. Also, my mic is on the fritz. It's kind of this mic. This is the main mic. This is a camcorder with a shotgun mic on top of it that's just like, I don't know, like 8 inches away from my face, pointed at my mouth. And it's my backup audio for this track. So far, this mic doesn't seem to be doing the thing that it sometimes does. It makes this like pop, 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 pop. Terrible, distorted horribleness. And I don't know why, but I'll be replacing the mic as soon as next month's Patreon payments come in. But until then, I've just got to deal with it as is. So I'll go through the whole audio track, partly to check for this and partly to remove out any of the clickety-clackety keyboard noise that I get from taking notes. And if this audio track is good, then we'll use it because it's a better microphone. And if this audio track sucks dick, then I will use this one because it doesn't have that problem, even though it's a lower quality microphone. So if I sound really tinny right now, that's because we're using this microphone. And if I sound pretty darn good, that's because we're using this microphone and it didn't fuck with me today. It's just so intermittent and bleh. Okay. Let's get into EVA. I've got it. It's 0 seconds. This video is how long? I'll tell you exactly how long it is so that you know. Okay. 28 minutes and 46 seconds. This is once again the Bankai 77 BD 1080p dual audio X265 Havoc 10-bit RIP. And it's the filtered version, which makes some stuff a little bit less grainy and a little bit more even color-wise. So, if you want to play along with the exact same thing, you can do that. There will also be a version of this video on Mega, and I'll link it in the description. So if you want to go and download it and view it with the video in the video, you can do that. Yeah, you probably won't be able to watch it in your browser, though. For whatever reason, Mega doesn't like playing my videos. They seem to work in Google Chrome. They do not work in Firefox. Don't ask me why. I really don't know. It's got something to do with the way I encode it, but I don't know why. Anyway, I haven't been able to narrow it down. Some of my videos work, some of them don't. They're all encoded the same way. I don't know. But if you want it, it's there in the scribbly-doo, and you can go and get it. Okay. I'm talking for way too long. If you're watching the timer-based version on YouTube, there will be a beep beep timer. It'll go boop 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 beep, and on the beep and the green light, that's the same frame that the video starts playing on my screen. So if you want to play along with your own media, that's when you want to hit the button. Let's get into it. Beep beep timer goes here. The moon. Is this Asuka? With Kaji? Oh, let me zoom this in. Oh, so this is before she left. Uh-huh. 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 Huh. Pay attention to me. Oh. She thinks the doll is Asuka, but Asuka's right there. Oh, wow. Daddy gets around. At least be human. Uh-huh. My father's murder, but I thought her revenge was on her father. Not for her father. I guess it's both. Mass production? That would be bad. Right, there's no reason to do that behind closed doors. This must have something to do with the hip. Kaji? What has she lost? Lost to Shinji or lost to Rei? So she's been pretty much left alone for this month, hasn't she? Yeah. It's not going to be from Kaji. Yeah. I'll get it. Ugh. What's with your prissy attitude, Asuka? Oh, that's some good German right there. Oh. I don't know. Wow, that whoosh. So much resentment. So much resentment. Why do I have to what? So it's not her period. Aka Shinji? Is this the scene? It is the scene. Timestamp start 10:15. Blink, blink. We can tell every floor they pass. When did it stop? Almost a minute. Wow. But I hate myself the most. Ooh, nice composition. What is that? Asuka is not. You fucking what? Girl. Probably a good idea. Yeah. So she's just sitting there. Holy crap. Okay, it's raining. Pressure. Ooh. Destroying her own city. Wow, that crackling, grumbling noise. Inside Asuka's mind? Yes. What was that tearing sound? Oh. Yes, you do. It's part of you. Her image of herself? Is this the fourth repetition? Wow. A sea of people. A faceless mass. Let him go. Well, let's see what happens when you do what with the spear. Chance. This is what? Removing the spear, huh? Will that activate Adam? Yup. So you're gonna throw it into orbit. Holy shit. So what's going on with Adam? Cause like that was the only thing keeping him down, right? So uh-oh. But is she herself? This is a very upbeat version of the song for what we just saw. I need to let that settle. Let's go and frame by frame some of the blasts of frames. You know what I mean? Let's go and find some of those. Let me mute this. And we'll go through this. I think most of these are German. 9 and Todd. What is Todd? Translate. German. Alemania. Death. Oh, okay. That makes sense. And all of these doors opening into light. 9, 9, 9. I don't know what that is. Is that Nihongo? I don't know. Doors opening into different environments. Death, death, death. 999 Todd, Todd, Todd. And then that symbol, which it must be Japanese. I don't know what it is though. Okay, I don't know. I don't need blah 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 blah. Hey, there's a lot to talk about here, but I just want to go through and get all this information before I really go through and like we'll go through this whole episode. I'll skim through it. Where's the big flash? There we go. Okay. Well, let's go frame by frame here, because I think it was like one word per frame. God, that's creepy. Okay. And then there were subtitles for this. Did they break? Oh. Did they not appear when I frame by frame? Oh no. Yeah, they just don't appear when I frame by frame it. Let me open this in a different media player and see if we can fix that, you know? So let me pull this up in MBCHC. Yeah, let me pull this up in MPCHC. Make sure it's muted. Put the where is it? Where's the subtitle track? Okay, English subs, and then we'll go to where was it? 2148. A little bit before that. 2114. Okay. And then let me make sure you can see this. Yeah, you can't. Okay, switch to MPCHC. I actually don't know if this will work yet, but you can go through these. Lots of color swapped negatives and like weird stuff. What was that? Antabaka. Okay. Okay. I won't rely on anyone. Do you love me? You really love me. I can live on my own. Wait. These are all, they're all, negatives or color alterations of scenes that have happened, I think. I'm not sure. To the door. The three of them together. Oh. Okay, here we go. Denial. Father. Mother. Privation. Insecurity. I'm going to write all these down. Evasion, contact, obsessive compulsive. Whoa. Okay. What just happened? Okay, there's all of this. Oh, did the subtitle track change? What? Oh, they're all off now. What the fuck? Don't do this to me. I must have hit a hotkey that I didn't mean to hit. My bad. Let's do this again. Okay. 2140. Here we go. How far back am I? Okay, I'm a little bit too far back. I'll just let it run. Insecurity, separation. Have I gotten all these? Yeah, okay. Evasion, contact, obsessive compulsive, attachment behavior dependence, okay. Emptiness. Ah! Damn it. Psychological breakdown. Sympathy, pity. And it's sympathy over pity, so the two are intertwined in her brain. To be sympathized with is to be pitied. I am not a doll. And that appears to be... No, it's the same stuff, just in two different versions, okay. Mental contamination. Don't violate me. Stop it. Die with me. Wow. No, it hurts. I hate you so much. Resumption, dormant, masculine protest. Don't be. Clearly present. Reactive formation, shadow. Opposition, reparations, don't be. With the period. It's very final. Momentary assimilation, don't be. So it comes more frequently. Rationalization, oblivion, deception. When you guess the next one is don't be. Nope, reason for existing. Confidence, childhood experiences. Sense of loss. Reparations again. Coexistence. Hostility, oppression, death. Death. Black. My mind's been defiled. Okay. So, I think the big question from this list, and I wanted to write this list down so that I could just go through it and you know, like, look at it all at once without having to scan through it again and again to try and figure stuff out. Couple words that I'm not totally sure of the definitions of. So privation is one of those. a state in which the things that are essential for human well-being, such as food and warmth, are scarce or lacking. So privation would be similar to deprivation, which doesn't seem like it would make sense because the de prefix normally means the opposite of that, but okay, cool. So it's the loss or absence of a quality or attribute that is normally present. So it's starvation, hardship, destitution. Okay. Insecurity, separation, evasion, contact. Obsessive compulsive attachment behavior, dependence, emptiness. Psychological breakdown, sympathy over pity, and it's important that they're together. Because that's the only pair of words in the same frame. Because they're related in her mind. They're one thing. Sympathy and pity can't exist without each other, and she experiences sympathy as pity. It's like, don't pity me. Always that's her attitude. I am not a doll. Mental contamination, don't violate me, stop it, die with me. No, it hurts, I hate you so much. Presumption, dormant. Is there a specific definition of the phrase masculine protest? Oh. Concept described by Alfred Adler. Okay. In women, it gives expression to a rejection of their feminine condition, the consequence of a devalorization of girls in their family or the cultural milieu. How do I pronounce that? Milieu? Milieu. Okay. And the choice of a masculine ideal in the formation of their guiding fiction. In men, it expresses itself as a superiority complex. That is very much what Asuka is. And in fact, we get an explicit statement of that earlier in the episode when she's doubled over by the sink, saying, you know, I wish I didn't have to deal with this. Why do women have to deal with this crap? I don't even want to have kids. When she's talking about her period, right? She's menstruating, and it's suffering for something that she doesn't want because she has rejected her femininity. So she's revolting against what she believes to be a permanent perspective. This is all quotes. She revolts against what she believes to be a permanent perspective of inferiority for her, a woman. Huh. Don't be. Clearly present reactive formation. Shadow. I wonder if this is the Jungian subconscious that we're talking about here. Maybe, maybe not. Opposition, reparations, don't be. Momentary assimilation, don't be. Rationalization, oblivion, deception. Reason for existing, confidence. Childhood experiences, sense of loss, reparations, coexistence, hostility, oppression, death. My big question is whether all of this is actually coming from within Asuka, because at this point, we're given the explanation that the angel is potentially probing her mind, right? And thereby defiling her. Again, it seems. So we'll talk about that. But that it's probing her mind. And so if it's probing her mind, then perhaps what we're seeing is a list of terms that the angel is coming to comprehend through looking into her mind. But some of the terms are also different, like reparations, repayment for some ill being that has been done, momentary assimilation, coexistence, hostility. These seem like they're from the perspective of the angel. I'm wondering if it's just trying to communicate. That would be interesting. Because we've seen angels as these specters of doom, right? But what if they're not quite that? What if they are just so alien that they can't comprehend the destruction they cause? Perhaps they can't even comprehend the idea of hostility, and so they're learning it from the humans that they managed to probe. I don't know. Weird. Weird stuff. All right, let's go to the beginning. Let's go to the beginning and let's skip on through this episode. How far do we skip with one skip? I can't actually see this timestamp. What the fuck? I think we skip about 6 seconds ahead. That's fine. We can work with that. So I think we start with the moon. So that's Rei, symbolically. And then we have Asuka and Kaji talking, and this is back in Germany before she's gone, and met any of them or gotten to Japan, probably just a day or two before. Kaji sort of suggests that she maybe fall for someone her own age, and she doesn't pick up on that at all. If it's with you, it's all okay. Kissing, and even beyond that. You're still a kid, Asuka. I'm already grown up enough. She bears her child chest. And then we get flashes. And the bloody doll. With the moonlight over it. I'm going to call that moonlight. It may just be a spotlight down on it, but it looks like it's the moon. So it seems that her mother was a researcher. So if her mother is psychologically broken, the point where she thinks that this doll is her daughter and completely neglects her real daughter. Asuka's cold and hard-eyed from the start, from very early. We hear the father talking, and the father sort of uses her as almost a tool to get sympathy. And we hear him start making out with this nurse with Asuka present. You have my sympathies. A family of dolls, the two of them. Humans made dolls in their own image. And then there's this musing that if God exists, then we might all be just dolls to him. This is interesting because we were talking earlier about realizing a form of God through the existence of the EVAs and the actualization of the EVAs. So maybe that's related, that humans are nothing but dolls to the EVAs, but also EVAs are just dolls to their pilots. We get that later when Asuka is standing in front of her EVA and sort of berating it. And it makes me wonder if she knows that it's a family member in there. I wonder who it is in the EVA. I feel like it might be her father, since it seems that he died. I'm actually not sure what the name on the gravestone was. I'm just another human, a flesh and blood woman, right? And then they're making out. You're such a good girl, Asuka, and this is that woman. Okay, right, so she's crying. I'm not going to cry, I'm going to think for myself. There's something off about that statement, because it's like she's saying, the world expects me to cry, and so just to be contrarian, I'm not going to. Something like that. There's something a little bit off about it. Oh, there it is. Need nicotine. I require nicotine. Because addiction. This turmoil that she's going through seems to be a result of being left to her own devices for the last month or so. Because the focus has been on Shinji and on saving Shinji from being dissolved in a quantum state in the LCL stuff. That's what everyone has been focused on. They've all been doing their own thing, and there's been no time to pay attention to Asuka. So her craving for attention has not been fulfilled. And a lot of her already unstable mental state seems to be a result of that, of not getting what she wants. Which, to an extent, is childish, but it's also understandable, given what we know about her and her reason for existing, as is flashed up on screen for one frame. Reason for existing is to be recognized as the best. So she was beaten, as she sees it, by both Rei and Shinji, because Shinji did the thing, right? Managed to succeed where she failed. And by Rei to an extent, because Rei did another thing. She did a heroic, like, self-sacrifice type dealio. And somehow survived that. But it's seriously affecting her mental state, even before the angel begins to probe her mind. Sync rate's been down. It's problematic. So we've got this sort of ominous tone here where we're not going to be able to do the repairs on her unit if she keeps, like, if she's going to be a broken tool, then who cares? We'll have to let her go. This set of lines from Misato is interesting, because I was under the impression that she's fighting, in a sense, in order to get revenge against her father, but now this set of lines puts it as if she's getting revenge for her father, which is interesting. It's also interesting that she mentions this idea of taking a threat and turning it into a weapon, right? Like, to use the simplest example would be fire. Fire is a dangerous element that has huge destructive potential, and before humans mastered it and used it as a tool, was probably a terrifying thing. Like, if there's a fire on the savannah, you're fucked. Because you can't outrun it. You can't hide from it, really. It's just bad. But once that was mastered, it became the cornerstone of human growth and the ability to cook and eat meat and all sorts of things. Extending the light of day, it became the most useful of our tools. Until the invention of writing, I would say. That is what humans do. So they're mass-producing EVAs. This is an interesting aside here. This impatience, these gears turning in the background that are going to lead to something big. Like, what if you can't control the mass-produced EVAs? Where are you going to get the human souls to put into them? Are you not going to do that? Have you figured out a way to avoid putting souls into them? Are you going to put dummy plugs in all the mass-produced EVAs? If so, what if there's something wrong with the dummy plugs and they all go apeshit? How are you going to combat that if they're as strong, as powerful as the human EVAs? Maybe you just can't. Yeah, there's no... If they're preparing for a more difficult angel attack, then there's no reason to do that behind closed doors. There's no reason to hide that. So there must be something else going on. Asuka calling Kaji, can't get through. And this is where we start to see Asuka's state, really. She's sort of dejected, generally dejected, before even coming into contact with Shinji and Rei. But then she sees them and is first surprised by that, and then it's hard to read what she's thinking. But what she says is, you're just, right, we don't know how she finishes that sentence. Fine, so I've lost. Lost to Shinji or lost Shinji to Rei? I wonder which she's thinking. I think just lost to Shinji. But Rei is center screen. Hard to tell where her focus is. We do focus on Shinji afterward. Then we get this awkward interlude. And the way she's just eating. It's as if she's being petulant, she's being resentful. I'm done, right? Misato's watching. She says, it's probably just another call for you from Kaji. That's not likely. Misato knows that he's dead. I do think that Misato killed him. I don't think that could have gone any other way. Somebody commented saying that it was just a nameless gun from Seal? Whatever. I don't see it. The way it's cut together, it seems like it's heavily implying that it was Misato, and she has no other way that she would know of his death. And then Asuka tries to do her jabby thing. Thank you so very much. He just ignores her. What's with his prissy attitude? What's with yours, as I said? Everything's coming in through the filter of her resentment. I like this cut. I like this cut a lot. It's got a lot of expressiveness. And then we get some Germanese. It's all over if even you start sympathizing with me. Again, sympathy and pity are intertwined in her mind. She refuses the sympathy of others because she sees it as pity. She's hurt by it. That's her own shell. Then we get this scene where she expresses her hatred for everything around her. It makes me sick. Like hell, I'll bathe in water, wash with the same washer, breathe the same air as these people. Misato and stupid Shinji. This light on the water looks very much like the Eva soul. Like hell, I'll sit on the toilet. I forgot that one. Right, and then we get I hate them. I hate Misato. I hate Shinji. I hate the first child, Rei, even more. She won't even say her name. I hate Dad. I hate Mom. She's just overcome with this rage and resentment. But I hate myself the most. And that's what it all is. She's projecting this self-loathing outward. On everyone, on everything around her. I hate this, I can't stand it anymore. Why do I have to, what? To pilot? Maybe. Why me? And her test scores go even further down. She's on her second day, so she's menstruating. But that shouldn't affect her sync rate. This is interesting that it's coming from Akagi, because it's not just a superficial physiological condition. It affects your mental state as well. So it's sort of silly of her to ignore that. Why do I have to go through this just because I'm a woman? So this is that masculine revolt. And then, the elevator scene. At least 45 seconds of just this frame. It's a good looking frame. Damn good looking frame. What this does, like, okay. I've experienced something like this. The awkward silence when two people who have had a fight or have some distance between them are sitting together or are forced into the same room. Terribly awkward until one of them breaks it. And this scene captures that so perfectly. Where you're both sitting there, and you know there's something that needs to be said, but neither of you are willing to take that step, regardless of how uncomfortable the silence really is. This is a good scene. I like this scene. Yeah, I like this scene. And it's, you know, the getting the elevator moving behind it, the audio, and Asuka's slight movements. While Rei is like, I don't think Rei even blinks during the whole scene. If she does, I missed it, but Asuka has her slight movements. And then Rei breaks the silence. The Eva won't move unless you open your heart. What? What are you saying? You saying my heart isn't open? Well, yeah. Yes. Yes, the Evas have souls. Those puppets, those dolls, you should know that. Maybe it'll snow tomorrow, and they're in an endless summer, so no way. Are you so happy that I can't pilot my Eva? Of course not. She doesn't care about such things. We can just rely on Shinji. The great invincible Shinji. So patronizing. We don't have to do anything. Still have a role to play. All they need is Shinji, so they don't need me. Now even from the mechanical puppet girl, and then she replies quietly, I am not a puppet. Ningyo Janai. It is Ningyo Janai, right?
I am not a...
Oh, this is the English audio track. Blah. Blah. You do whatever you're told. You'd die if Commander Ikari told you to, wouldn't you? Yes. That rage. That lack of understanding. She backs out of the elevator. You're so much like a puppet. But I hate myself even more. We know, Asuka. We know. There. Yeah, the light is straight on the rule of thirds. Maybe a little bit over to the upper left. A little bit further up than it should be. Not that it should be, but then the exact crash point, power point, whatever. And then Shinji's chin is also there. Great composition. And then Asuka has this sort of conversation with her Eva. One-sided, of course. And she calls it a puppet. You're finally back to normal after losing like that, blaming her loss on the Eva. You're my puppet, so all you have to do is quietly do as I say. That's just disrespectful. Why does a weapon need a soul anyway? This line is quite interesting, because if we think about it, these kids, the pilots, they are weapons, right? So what need do they have for souls? Asuka's essentially asking this about herself. She may not realize it, but that is what she's doing. Why does a tool need a soul? And I think this is a question that might be answered. Because a version of a pilot without a soul is exactly what the dummy plugs are. They're a true puppet for Gendo. And then the angel appears. We get a bunch of doing this, and then Asuka. Back up? No fucking way. Let me out there. This is the second time, I think, that Asuka has gone against orders and gone out to fight on her own. You'd think she would have learned the last time, but no. Asuka does not learn. And Misato is like, well, if she chooses this, then that's fine. But if she can't hack it, she's out. And Asuka's aware of it. And this unit is under suspension. No mistakes allowed. All the pressure is on. My last chance. And the rainfall is somewhat symbolic here. Something's going to go wrong. Then the beam of light. Is it directed energy weapon? No. It is a mental probe thingy majiggy light beam thing. And it makes Asuka flip the fuck out. Starts firing. Then she begins to shatter. Oh yeah, and the choice of the Hallelujah chorus for this is interesting. Watashi no naga ni haite konaide. Hmm. The literal translation is "do not come into me." Haite is in or go in. Konaide is do not come. And it's the negative of kuru, to come. Which means that the double meaning is present in both languages. I really have to wonder if this line does have a double meaning, because in one sense it's do not enter my brain, but in the other sense it is the purely sexual do not ejaculate inside me. Right? And without context, in just a string of madness almost, it's nearly impossible to determine which. Let me know in the comments which you think it is, or whether you think it's intended to be a double meaning, or if you think it's just straightforward, like, don't probe my mind. Because I think there's a double meaning here. And as I said, like, I'm aware that there is a video about the theory that Asuka and Shinji had sex in that one episode. I haven't watched the video because spoilers, obviously, but I know that that video exists, and I know that that theory exists because I know that the video exists. So I can't help but think through this episode about that and wonder if Asuka's feeling of sickness at the sink and her degraded mental state is potentially a result of an early stage pregnancy. And if so, then this statement, "don't come inside me," could be to Shinji during that encounter. It's been a month, a little bit more. It's hard not to think about that. Because it would sort of make things click. But it could also just be a line that means exactly what it says. Okay, let me reduce the volume again. And we get these flashes. There was some different stuff in this one. 9. MENARCHE? I think that's what that says. No. Can't tell. Ah. Ah. I can't tell what that is. I can't tell if it's even, no, with the double lineup here, I can't tell if these are, Roman characters or hiragana. Appears back, and then we get another sequence. Much shorter this time. 9. That's definitely hiragana. Groll? Resentment. Oh, there we go. All right. In German. Really great expressions of torment by this Eva. Really sells it. Nine. Some hiragana. Still don't know what that is. There was some different stuff in here. Mach? Shame. Okay. Shame and resentment. No, no, no. 999. Doppel. Doppel. Cell. It's not doppelganger. Double. Something. Looks like BITM? I don't know. Odd be. I don't know. It's just not readable to me. That looked like it was just no and then some hiragana. Gesavder? Gensavder? No. Grisavder? I don't know. God damn it. I want to know what all the words mean. I want to know them all. Honestly, Anno probably just threw in a bunch of stuff he thought sounded cool. Okay, this is that same one that I can't read at all. Let me know if you can read that, or if somebody on the netterwebs has figured out what all of these say, and I'm just wasting my time going through them all. Oh, I went back a ways. Okay, that's why. Oh, that looked like one I might be able to read. There's like Wie something. Wie or Y are How annoying. Indeed. Don't look inside my mind. Don't dig deeper into my heart. And this is her response to the angel's intrusion, but it's also a response to humans trying to get close to her. Again, it's rife with double meanings, and her mental signals are all over the place. Come back, no, and she refuses. I'd rather die than retreat. We try to shoot it, doesn't work. Asuka's dying. It's the angel trying to understand us. And we get this sequence. And this is a hell of a sequence. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff right there. Peichelikes? Is that an N instead of an H? Yep, it's an N, so that's embarrassing. Peinlich. Okay. How embarrassing. Steitmutter? Stahlmutter? I guess it could be. Steel nut. Steer? Bull mother? I know it's mutter, so it's mother. I don't know. Or is it Scheitmutter? I don't know. Der Verlust. The loss. Okay, that makes sense. This is Peinlichus again, so how embarrassing. How embarrassing the loss. What the fuck is that thing at the end? I don't know. Is that a G? Insane. Wansinnig. It's missing an N. It's Sinnig. That's missing here. But they got it. It's Wansinnig. Insane. Okay. And we go through a bunch of doors. Doors to open skies in different colors. Death. No. And then doors to just color blobs to strangeness, to the immaterial. Perhaps doors to what is within the angel. Unknown. Skies again. Unknown. And then just red. And just light. I don't need a mom or a dad. I'm going to live on my own. Die with me. And she agrees. I don't know what you mean. Who are you? And then we go through this line. I'm Asuka Langley Soryu. Nice to meet you. With small differences, I think, in both the animation and it's the same set of lines delivered repeatedly. So it's a different delivery each time by the voice actress. I'm Asuka Langley Soryu. Nice to meet you. Antabaka. Chaz. Look at me. And then, no, this isn't me, but it is. Chance. And she's walking backward on a thin strip of unknown across these train tracks. Why? I don't know. Sure is effective, though. There's this giggling, laughing horde of faceless, hooded people. And they all congeal into one faceless mass. Swirl of color. Dragging her in, she calls out for Kaji. Why are you there? Everything centers around Shinji. We get these lines. You won't do anything, you won't help me, you won't even hold me. These horrifying kids' drawings. What looks like kids' drawings. Look at me. Are you lonely? No. Whoosh. I'm not lonely. I push everyone away. I'm going to live on my own. That's a hard existence, Asuka. What's that one frame? There's one frame with text on it. I think I already went through this, didn't I? But I don't remember what that one frame was. Ah, it's Antabaka. Okay. We go through all of this. Oh man, I've been defiled. Again, thinking the same thing here. What if she means physically? Your success is not guaranteed, but Ray's is. It's far too dangerous, and she realizes in that moment that everything has been a lie. So we pull, and this is so ominous. It's so clear that this moment where Ray, yeah, we still got the Hallelujah chorus going on. this moment where Rei pulls the spear of Longinus out of Adam is something that Gendo has been planning for, but it's something with serious ramifications. Namely, Adam is free to an extent, because it seems the only thing holding this creature in place and keeping it from regenning are those spikes in its hands. Very, very Christian symbolism there. And as soon as the Spear of Longinus is gone, it starts to regrow. And gains legs. Lots of legs. Using it without their permission will be troublesome, so we'll just act fast. We will use this as our excuse, right? So, the big plans have just been set in motion, and we don't know what they are. We get this really cool javelin toss. I actually want to see the javelin toss itself. Let's frame by frame it. Doobie doop. Yeah, so the spear sort of, it spins into itself, becoming a tighter spiral. Becoming more aerodynamic, as if it shapes itself to its purpose. She takes her hop step. They must have studied javelin tossers for this. That's awesome. And off the spear goes. And the whole... Amazing. Really cool effect. And it slams into the AT field, and then we come up close to it, and we see it turn into a drill. Which is very Gainax. And then it pierces everything. Oh, wow. Just wow. Pierces straight through it, and it the whole thing just evaporates and is sucked into its wake. Shoo. Fantastic. Can't get it back. So that's a big deal, because if that's your trump card against Angels and Adam, it's gone. Rip. Asuka's alive, but oh boy is she not okay, and she's being quarantined because of the mental contamination, whatever that is. I'm glad for you, glad that you're okay, but she's just resenting. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. To be saved by her again. To be beaten again. How could it be? She's so alone. And it's by her own volition. She's done this to herself. She hates herself for it. But she projects that hatred outward onto everyone around her. And so she receives just desserts from them. She treats the people around her like crap, and so she is, in turn, if you spike people with your hedgehog spikes, they're gonna stay away from you. If that's the way you defend yourself, they're not gonna deal with it. But I feel for her. This was a hell of an episode. I've talked for a long time about this episode because it was a hell of an episode. Now that Adam has been released, man, I don't know what to expect. And if it wasn't contact between an Eva and Adam that caused the second impact, then what did? Was it the experimentation with an Eva? Seems like it. I wonder what Adam will do now that it's free to some extent. Interesting, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. I've been Teeaboo, this has been EVA, episode 22. Please leave your thoughts down in the comments. I'll read them, and we'll talk about them, and it'll be great. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have, and as always, I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.